Hey there, this is Jordan Hoopengarner. I'm a customer success manager here at Teachable, and I am going to present to you a training called the Student Value Journey Part 2. If you haven't seen Part 1, I recommend that you stop this training and go back and watch that one because this one is going to build off of that. So, awesome. Well, without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into a little bit more about the Student Value Journey by breaking down each one of the 8 stages in marketing. So let's break down the student value journey. So stage 1, we have awareness. So awareness, simple, just be discovered. That's the whole goal behind the awareness stage. Someone doesn't know who you are, and then they find out who you are through actions like organic content, paid ads, word of mouth, referrals, shares, networking events, blogs, podcast, YouTube channel, Instagram, TikTok, whatever that may be. Someone didn't know who you were, and now they know who you are. So pretty simple, pretty straightforward. But the thing is that you may have heard this before, but sales is the bloodline to any business. So if you do not have sales coming in, well, it's going to start to dry things up. This right here, awareness, the awareness stage is really what we would call top of funnel. So if you could think of like a funnel like this is all content and stuff at the top here, and it's all feeding people down into what we'd call a sales funnel. And so eventually the goal of that sales funnel is someone drives further and further down and they become a buyer. And even a repeat buyer. So looking at this, if you have areas where let's say, we have organic content, but you take months off of creating organic content, but that's where all of your traffic has come in, eventually those people are going to dry up. They maybe have bought from you, and there's, any new blood is not going to be coming in, basically. It's always good to have people purchasing more and more from you, increasing your lifetime value of the customers. However, if we're looking at creating more customers and bringing more in, this is where that stage awareness is super, super important. The next stage here is engage. So the goal here is we're building up an audience. So we're building an audience on social media, or we're building an audience of people that come to your events or something like that. We're building up this audience of people that are subscribed to your blog. That's the whole goal of here is expanding this reach in that way. So the action is that people start interacting with you online. So they are commenting on your posts. They are liking them. They're visiting your web pages. They're doing actions like that. Maybe they're messaging you on Facebook or Instagram, or they're engaging with you as a person because, well, they're liking what you're saying and they want to get to know you a little bit more. Super important stage right here is the awareness and engage. However, what I see a lot of people do, and what I've seen a lot do in the past, is that a lot of people would just stop at these stages and they wouldn't ever really proceed further. Now, if you're watching this training and you have an established business, you continued further because you were able to make sales. And so that's where the stage 3, subscribe, comes in. So this is, like I mentioned in our last training, this is a big stage. This is where relationship change happens. This would be like if I was dating my wife, or before I started dating my wife, this would be like her giving me her number to say, yes, you can text me, or yes, you can call me. And so the subscribe stage is them giving you permission to contact them. So the goal here is to build up an email list using something called a lead magnet. If you're not familiar with that term, all it is a free small chunk of value that you give away in exchange for contact information, like name and email address. They're saying that, yes, I want this thing, and you can contact me in exchange for it. So the whole goal is to build up an email list. The action here, I would say, is to link and give a call to action anywhere you can, really. If you have a lead magnet, you can put it in your email signature, put it on your social post, put it on a link tree, put it on your website, put it everywhere you can, because this is going to this is an asset in your business. I've heard it said before that one email should be worth $1 in sales a month. So if you have 10 email addresses, it should be worth $10 a month. If you have 5,000 or 50,000 or 100,000, you could expect to be able to make that much money a month based on an email list size. So one huge important part of an email list is that when you're top of funnel and you're looking at social media, platforms and you have a great following out there, that's still traffic that Instagram or YouTube or anyone else owns. They own that. If they switch their algorithm, if something happens, those people may not see your stuff anymore, your content anymore. However, when you build up an email list, it's like you're building up this asset. So this is traffic that you own, that you can market to, and you can speak to them whenever you want to, and it's traffic that you now have. I mentioned that this was a relationship change, and it's super, super important to know that they are now saying you can contact me. That's a big deal. And also, email still works really well to sell online, and I believe that it will for many, many years to come, because you can do amazing things like launches through email. You can do email automations, and you can get very personalized, and you can have automated sequences and all these things. So email still really works, and people do still check their emails because, well, basically anything you do is tied to an email address. So pretty important stuff right there. Teachable features here. You can't really see it because I can move this. So teachable feature here that you could use is creating a free mini course or even a free digital download. Those are things, 2 features on Teachable that you can use. The mini course is especially cool, in my opinion, because you can lead them into the next stage, which is the convert stage, by putting in an upsell block into the mini course. So as they go through the mini course, upsell at the end, leading them to a paid sale. You could also do something very similar with a digital download. You just put the link in the digital download that you have, leading them to an upsell as well. And of course, you can tie in email to that also. Which leads us into our convert stage. Let me move my video back over. Convert stage 4. The goal here is simply to just create a buyer. By doing something like adding a low ticket upsell to a mini course, just like what I just said. So very easy way to just, as a natural next step for someone to take, is to add an upsell right within the curriculum block in your curriculum on a free mini course. Very easy way to do it, to connect someone right into a low ticket or a loss leader, if you will, what we'd call a tripwire even. It's simply just meant to convert someone. And again, if you didn't hear it in the first training, a buyer is 10 times more likely to buy again. So that's a pretty big deal, because if someone has bought from you once and you have another offer to give them, well, they're 10 times more likely to take that offer. That lifetime value of the customer, very important. Also, just to know is that if you do coaching or if you have high ticket sales and you're doing it over the phone or over a Zoom call, time spent on the phone with you works well also to convert someone, say a coaching call or a sales call. It also is the same thing as if they were to pull out their wallet and actually pay you a small amount of money to it works the same, because they can transition into the next stage, which is Excite, and then even into the Ascend, which would be like a high ticket offer like coaching. So really, really important here. Something else that I want to note, if you do run paid ads ever, having a low ticket offer immediately after something free, immediately after as an upsell, can help to cover your ad spend. So that's called a self-liquidating offer. So it's a good strategy if you're ever running ads and you run something like, an ad to a lead magnet and something for free, and then they download that and immediately have something there to be able to, on the next page, to be able to upsell. You can cover your ad spend. And I've done it once with a client before where we actually we saw more sales coming in than what we were spending in on ads. And that was super cool to see that. It eventually kind of leveled out where there was more ad spend than sales, but then we had a back end offer which totally covered that. And so it's super cool. And it's a good way to scale with ads, is to have a tripwire to cover that expense. So side note. Some teachable features here is that, using our sales pages, our checkout pages, enrollment caps, those kind of things to help convert. Even putting an upsell on the thank you page, those kind of things as well. So those are great ways to help in that convert stage. Excuse me. The next stage here is our stage 5, which is excite. So the goal here is to transform students' lives, to give them value, to help them, to genuinely try to solve some of their problems because they've gone through that convert stage, which was, the loss leader, and they're excited about what they learned and they're ready to kind of go to the next step. The action here is to get them excited on the value that they've received, that they want to buy more. So basically back up your claim, give them a really valuable and helpful experience and genuinely try to really serve people really well, which I don't think we'd have any problems with that here. So stage 6, which, once someone is very excited, they would tend to want to buy again from you. So we're going up this ladder again. So that's what this is that students buy again and again from you. And the action here is to build what we'd call an offer sequence using Teachable's features. So if you think of if I were to go out and buy a grill from a store, what's the next natural thing that they're going to need? The natural next step for them is they're going to need some tongs, and they're going to need a grill cover. They're going to need maybe a spatula, a way to clean the grill, those kind of things, a cookbook. Like those are all complementary offers, and those is what we would call an offer sequence. So, hey, you bought this grill. Here's the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. So think of that with your courses, with your coaching, those kind of things, being able to take someone from, let's say this is a free offer, to a tripwire offer, to a $200 offer, $300 offer, $500 offer, $1,000 offer, just thinking through that. It obviously can go higher than that, and it doesn't have to be those price points by any means, but what makes sense for your audience and for your business. So thinking in that regard of a natural next step, just kind of dotting those things together. Some of the teachable features here would be the upsell or the order bump. So the upsell is available on the thank you page, and then it's also available as a curriculum block that you can add an upsell. Order bump is only available on the checkout page, which is cool because it kind of has some built-in urgency, which is a nice little product to put in there. And it's typically around the $50 mark or less, because it doesn't take a lot to think about. Now, I've seen people sell order bumps for $300 or more. So I'm not saying that wouldn't work. I'm just saying typically what we would recommend is around the $50 mark. Then we're going into stage 7, which is the advocate stage. The goal here is simply to just have happy customers that are talking about you. And you have that in writing, you have it on a video, you're able to use that in your marketing, you're able to use that on your sales pages, and be able to have that as another piece from your customers saying something amazing about you because they've received true value from you and transformation. And then our action here is simply to capture testimonials. One really easy way to do that is to simply embed a form into your curriculum. You could put it into an email after they've completed a course and set up a Zap to be in Zapier to be able to send out an email saying, hey, this person completed this lecture. Send out an email asking for a testimonial. There's a bunch of different ways that you could do it. You can one-to-one reach out if someone has a big win and you see it in a community group that you have. You could ask them for that. Side note, one thing that I always have loved doing is I would take the testimonial questions that I had, like if I used Google Forms, and I'd put it into a form, and then when they responded, I could see it in a Google Sheet, and then I could constantly go back and see this was like some of the pain points that I'm seeing these people saying, my customers saying, these were the wins, these were these areas, and it would help to influence my copywriting and be able to influence how I speak to the customer, my language around them. So just having a bank of testimonials is always a really great way for inspiration for content or anything like that. Just a side note there, but testimonials I love them. Who doesn't love a good testimonial? They help to build a bridge of trust to the people that are not yet your students. So advocate stage, super awesome stage. And then stage 8 is our last stage, and that is the promote stage. The goal here is to build an army and a new marketing channel. You don't have to really build an army, obviously, but if you have some good affiliates that are spreading the word for you. These could be students. They honestly could even be complementary businesses that already have an audience. Really good affiliates right there. And so building up your affiliates, building up that area, and also referrals. So the action here is that students begin actively promoting their brand, your brand, for you using affiliates or the referral program. So both are built into Teachable, affiliate program and the referral program. So you can have access to both of those. Affiliates, someone's getting a commission by promoting. Referrals, they can talk to their friends, and they get a discount on their next purchase, and their friend gets a discount on their first purchase. So both are great ways. And yeah, the affiliate program's really, really amazing for scaling. Also, another thing is that you're using someone else's audience, which is great because unlike paid advertising, which I'm not going to knock paid advertising, but unlike paid advertising, you don't pay unless there's a result. So pretty cool, way of scaling is just being able to talk on someone else's audience, speak on their audience, get on a podcast or something like that, give them an affiliate code, and then or a link, and then it's tracked through Teachable to be able to build an affiliate program and see more sales. So that the Teachable programs features are the affiliate and the referral program. Oh, this is cool. So some of the common mistakes that I have seen with the student value journey is that I've seen creators have little to no email list, at least in comparison to the following that they have online. So really important to have an email list, and I don't really need to go in much detail of that because I already went through it. But not having an email list or very little email list is a pretty big mistake that I see. So super, super important stage to really go back and audit for yourself. Also skipping steps and going straight for the sale. So I mentioned this, some people are like, hey, what's up? I'm Jordan, and buy my $300 thing. It can work. However, there's a little bit more of a streamlined process of doing that. And that's really following the student value journey. Another just kind of a tidbit on this of thinking about if you are running ads straight to a sales page or traffic in general, organic content just to a sales page, and you're not actually sending people to a lead magnet, you don't really have a great way of getting them back to that sales page other than paying retargeting ads, which you can do, of course, or continuing to promote that same sales page. But when someone sees that page for the first time, and it's going to take a little bit of warm up. So a more streamlined way is actually if you're building up awareness and sending and engaging people, and then you have a lead magnet where you capture their email address, then show them the sales page. Now you have a way of sending an email automation out to them, which is a little more in-house. So just something to consider. Another common mistake that I see is not giving another offer. So if you are running a launch and just offering one product, something that you could simply do is have another product that you're offering maybe as an upsell or a bundle or a discount, and you have another offer to give them. So really good marketing always leads to some other form of offer. It doesn't always have to be a monetary value thing. It could be, a community, or it could be something that helped really solidify the relationship. So giving another offer, of course, is always a good thing if there's a transactional amount to it to help you grow revenue in that regard. But think of that, like once I have this offer, what is another thing that can really increase that lifetime value or average order value or average transaction value of your customers. So thinking about that as well. Another mistake is that I see some people don't have a good automated follow-up system. So having, either email automations or some kind of texting or something like that, even retargeting ads, thinking about that because, today's world, they see it so fast, and you got to be able to capture a message super, super quickly, and have a captivating message in that regard. Now, sometimes it takes multiple times of impressions, and the buying journey may be very long and lengthy depending on the process, the amount of money that you're selling something for. So having a way to capture an email address and be able to remarket to them and continue to build that relationship and nurture that lead, having an automated email system or something in that regard is a big mistake that I see that's not happening in some people's businesses. And then, of course, not adopting the teachable features, which I have another training that I'll get into a little bit deeper on the teachable features and how it relates to the student value journey here. But there's most of our features are revenue boosting features, whether it be upsells or order bumps or affiliates or referrals, or coaching, or abandoned cart email is a newer one that we have, which should be, if you haven't turned it on, definitely make sure that it's turned on in your account, because it's just amazing to see it working. But there's plenty of features within Teachable that really do help to build up your sales. And so those are, that's a lot of what we'll be looking at here as well, is just looking at the Teachable features and looking at how they can really help, and strategically how they work and which stage that they work at. So those are some of the common mistakes. So the biggest thing here is you got to take action. So go and complete the student value journey audit. This is a quick form that you can fill out. May not be super quick, but because you're gonna want to think about how you're rating yourself really on finding on your own marketing, so you can find your gaps and your opportunities here. So I hope that this was helpful. The student value journey, and understanding a pretty quick 10,000 foot view holistically of how marketing works compared to how your marketing is working now. Obviously, you've done a really great job this far, and hopefully this really helps you identify some areas that you could grow in and continue to build your business amazingly on Teachable. So I hope that this was helpful, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.